What if I told you that the most powerful force in the universe isn't somewhere out there in the heavens, but right here, right now, beating inside your chest, thinking through your mind, and flowing through your very essence? Welcome, warriors of purpose, architects of destiny, and seekers of truth. Today, we embark on a journey that will fundamentally transform how you see yourself, how you approach challenges, and how you navigate the sacred dance of relationships. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a truth so profound, so life-altering, that it has the power to elevate you from ordinary existence to extraordinary living. We're not here to discuss theory or philosophy in abstract terms. We're here to ignite the divine spark that has been dormant within you, waiting for this very moment to be awakened. The ancient Stoics understood this principle, the great philosophers lived by it, and today you're going to learn to embody it. This isn't just about motivation, this is about recognizing and activating the godlike nature that resides within your being. Are you ready to step into your divine power? Are you ready to transform not just your life, but the lives of everyone you touch? Then let's begin this sacred journey together. Every human being carries within them a divine blueprint, a sacred architecture that mirrors the very essence of creation itself. When you truly understand that the same creative force that formed galaxies, carved mountains, and breathed life into existence flows through your veins, your entire perspective on what's possible shifts dramatically. This isn't metaphorical speaking, this is the fundamental truth of your existence. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote in his Meditations that we are all fragments of the divine, temporarily housed in mortal form. This divine essence within you doesn't recognize limitations, doesn't accept defeat, and doesn't settle for mediocrity. It demands excellence, expects greatness, and creates miracles through ordinary circumstances. Consider how this transforms your relationships. When you recognize the divine within yourself, you simultaneously recognize it in others. Your partner, your children, your colleagues, even strangers on the street carry this same sacred essence. Conflict diminishes when you're interacting with the divine in another person. Compassion flows naturally when you see beyond the surface behaviors to the eternal spirit within. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we should treat every person as if they were a guest sent by God, because in truth, they are. This recognition doesn't make you passive or weak. Rather, it makes you incredibly powerful because you're operating from a place of infinite love and understanding. Your relationships transform when you approach them from this divine perspective. Instead of seeking to take from others, you seek to give. Instead of trying to control outcomes, you focus on being the highest version of yourself in every interaction. The divine within you attracts divinity in others. It's a law as certain as gravity. When you're operating from this sacred space, you become magnetic to opportunities, synchronicities, and relationships that serve your highest good. You stop accepting less than you deserve because you finally understand who you truly are. This divine blueprint within you has been designing your life experiences, even the challenging ones, to help you grow into your full potential. Every setback was preparation for a comeback. Every failure was training for future success. Every heartbreak was teaching you to love more deeply. When you align with this truth, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the conscious creator of your destiny. You realize that you've been given divine tools, divine intelligence, and divine power to navigate this human experience with grace and mastery. Acting as if God is within you means operating from a consciousness that transcends ordinary human thinking. This divine consciousness sees possibilities where others see problems, creates solutions where others see obstacles, and finds opportunity in every challenge. When the Stoics spoke of living according to nature, they weren't referring to trees and rivers, they were speaking of aligning with the divine nature that governs the universe and flows through you. This consciousness doesn't react from emotion. It responds from wisdom. It doesn't operate from fear, it moves from faith. It doesn't settle for survival, it aims for transformation. In your relationships, this divine consciousness manifests as unconditional love and unwavering strength. You love without attachment to outcomes. You give without expectation of return. You serve without keeping score. This doesn't make you a doormat, quite the opposite. It makes you incredibly powerful because you're no longer controlled by others' behaviors or responses. You're free to be your highest self regardless of external circumstances. Seneca understood this when he wrote that true power comes from mastering oneself, not others. When you operate from divine consciousness, you inspire others to rise to their highest potential simply by being in your presence. Divine consciousness also means taking complete responsibility for your life experience. God doesn't create victims, only co-creators. Every situation you find yourself in contains the seeds of your growth and expansion. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "How is this happening for me?" This shift in consciousness transforms every challenge into a classroom, every obstacle into an opportunity, and every setback into a setup for something greater. You understand that you're not here to live a small, safe life. You're here to expand, to grow, to become more than you were yesterday. This consciousness recognizes that your thoughts are creative forces. The same divine intelligence that organizes planets in their orbits and orchestrates the seasons is thinking through your mind right now. When you align your thoughts with this divine nature, you begin to think like God thinks. You see solutions where others see problems. You create beauty where others see chaos. You bring order where others accept disorder. Your very presence becomes a blessing to yourself and everyone around you. Operating from divine consciousness means you no longer wait for perfect conditions to begin living your purpose. You understand that you are the perfect condition. You don't need more education, more connections, or more resources. You need more recognition of what you already possess. The divine within you has infinite intelligence, unlimited creativity, and boundless love. These aren't things you need to acquire. They're qualities you need to activate and express through your daily actions and interactions. With divine power comes sacred responsibility. When you truly understand that God operates through you, every action becomes an expression of the divine, every word becomes a creative force, and every decision becomes an act of co-creation with the universe. This level of accountability transforms everything. You can no longer make excuses, blame others, or play victim to circumstances because you recognize yourself as a divine agent of change in this world. The Stoic principle of taking complete responsibility for your responses to life's events takes on new meaning when you understand that your responses are divine responses flowing through human experience. In relationships, this sacred responsibility means showing up as your highest self even when others don't. It means being the partner, parent, friend, or leader that divine love would be in your position. You understand that every interaction is an opportunity to express divinity through humanity. When your spouse is having a difficult day, you respond with divine patience and compassion. When your children test boundaries, you guide them with divine wisdom and strength. When colleagues create conflict, you address situations with divine clarity and love. This doesn't mean being perfect, it means being conscious of the divine nature you're expressing through every moment. Sacred responsibility also means using your divine gifts in service of something greater than yourself. The talents, abilities, and opportunities you've been given aren't for your enjoyment alone, they're for the upliftment of humanity. When you hoard your gifts, suppress your talents, or play small to make others comfortable, you're not serving anyone, including yourself. Divine nature expands, creates, and gives abundantly. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that we were born to work together, to serve the common good, to be useful to our community. Your success, happiness, and fulfillment are connected to how well you serve others with the divine gifts you've been given. This level of accountability extends to your standards and expectations. You can no longer accept less than excellence from yourself because you understand that you're expressing divinity through human form. This doesn't create pressure, it creates clarity. You stop settling for relationships that don't honor your worth. You stop accepting work that doesn't utilize your gifts. You stop tolerating environments that don't support your growth. Divine nature doesn't compromise its essence to fit into spaces that weren't designed for it. Instead, it creates new spaces or transforms existing ones. Sacred responsibility means being a guardian of divine energy in human form. You protect your thoughts, guard your words, and choose your associations carefully because you understand that you're stewarding something precious and powerful. Every day becomes an opportunity to express more divinity through your humanity. Every challenge becomes a chance to demonstrate divine strength. Every relationship becomes a canvas for divine love. Every goal becomes an expression of divine creativity and ambition. When you operate from the understanding that God is within you, your approach to relationships undergoes a complete transformation. You stop seeking relationships to fill voids and start creating relationships to share fullness. You stop looking for someone to complete you and instead become someone who enhances others' completeness. This shift changes everything because you're no longer approaching relationships from a place of need but from a place of abundance. Divine nature gives, creates, and serves. When you embody this in your relationships, you become irresistibly attractive to high-quality people who are also operating from their divine nature. Sacred connections are built on mutual recognition of each other's divine essence. In romantic relationships, this means seeing your partner as a divine being having a human experience, not just as someone meeting your emotional or physical needs. When challenges arise, as they inevitably will, you address them from divine consciousness rather than ego consciousness. You seek to understand rather than to be understood. You aim to heal rather than to win. You choose love over being right. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you incredibly powerful because love is the strongest force in the universe. The Stoics understood that we can only control our own actions and responses, never the actions of others. In divine relationships, this principle becomes a source of incredible freedom and power. You focus entirely on being the best version of yourself, expressing divine qualities through your interactions, and trusting that authentic divine energy attracts its match. You stop trying to change, fix, or control your partner and instead focus on loving them unconditionally while maintaining healthy boundaries that honor your own divine nature. Divine relationships also serve a higher purpose beyond personal satisfaction. Together, you and your partner become more effective instruments of service to the world. Your relationship becomes a foundation for greater impact, deeper meaning, and more significant contribution to humanity. When two people operating from divine consciousness unite, they create something greater than the sum of their parts. They become a force for transformation not just in their own lives but in the lives of everyone they encounter. In all relationships, family, friendships, and professional connections, operating from divine consciousness means being genuinely interested in others' highest good. You celebrate their victories without jealousy, support them through challenges without judgment, and inspire them toward their potential without manipulation. You understand that everyone is on their own divine journey, facing their own lessons and growing at their own pace. Your role is to be a source of light, encouragement, and inspiration, not to be their savior or teacher unless specifically invited into that role. Understanding that God operates through you transforms your entire relationship with purpose and legacy. You're not here accidentally. You're not here just to accumulate experiences, wealth, or achievements. You're here as a divine instrument, specifically designed and perfectly equipped to fulfill a unique mission that only you can accomplish. This mission isn't separate from your daily life. It's woven into every interaction, every challenge, and every opportunity you encounter. The ancient Stoics believed that everyone has a role to play in the grand drama of existence, and your role is as important as any emperor's or philosopher's. Your divine purpose often reveals itself through your natural talents, your deepest passions, and the problems you feel called to solve. When you're operating from divine consciousness, work stops feeling like work and becomes an expression of worship. Whether you're raising children, building businesses, creating art, serving communities, or healing others, you're fulfilling divine purpose through human activity. Every task becomes sacred when performed with divine consciousness. Every goal becomes a form of service when aligned with divine will. This understanding of divine purpose creates urgency without anxiety. You understand that your time in human form is limited, but your impact can be eternal. Every person you influence, every life you touch, every positive change you create ripples forward through time in ways you may never fully comprehend. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the interconnectedness of all things, how every action affects the whole. When you recognize yourself as a divine agent of positive change, every day becomes an opportunity to create eternal impact through temporary actions. Divine purpose also means serving something greater than your personal desires and ambitions. While your individual success and happiness matter, they serve the larger goal of elevating humanity. Your prosperity creates opportunities to help others prosper. Your peace creates space for others to find peace. Your love creates an environment where others can experience and express love. Success isn't selfish when it's achieved through divine consciousness, because divine success always serves the collective good. Living with divine purpose means you measure success differently than the world does. Yes, external achievements matter, but they're not the ultimate measure of a life well lived. The ultimate measure is how well you express divinity through humanity, how many lives you touched positively, how much light you brought to dark situations, and how much love you gave to a world that desperately needs it. When you operate from this perspective, every day becomes meaningful, every interaction becomes significant, and every moment becomes an opportunity to fulfill your divine destiny. As we reach the end of our journey together today, I want you to pause for a moment and feel the truth of what we've explored settling into your bones, your heart, your very soul. You are not merely a human being trying to find your way in a confusing world. You are a divine being having a human experience, equipped with infinite potential, unlimited creativity, and boundless love. The same force that created stars and galaxies, that orchestrates the seasons and governs the natural world, flows through you right now as you read these words. The 5 truths we've explored today are not theories to be pondered but realities to be lived. The divine blueprint within you is activated through your thoughts, words, and actions. Divine consciousness transforms every challenge into opportunity and every relationship into sacred connection. Sacred responsibility elevates every choice you make into an act of co-creation with the universe. Divine relationships become foundations for mutual growth and service to humanity. And your divine purpose ensures that every day you live creates ripples of positive impact that extend far beyond what you can see. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I want you to remember this moment. Before your feet hit the floor, before you check your phone, before the world starts making demands on your attention, I want you to pause and declare to yourself, God is within me, and I am within God. Today, I will act from this divine nature. Today, I will love from this sacred space. Today, I will serve from this eternal perspective. Watch how this simple recognition transforms your entire day, your relationships, your work, and your impact on the world. The world needs you to step into your divine nature now more than ever. There are problems only you can solve, people only you can reach, and contributions only you can make. Stop waiting for permission. Stop questioning your worthiness. Stop wondering if you're good enough. You were created by perfection. You carry perfection within you, and you're perfectly equipped to fulfill your divine destiny. Thank you for taking this journey with me today. Thank you for being open to recognizing the divine nature within yourself. Thank you for being willing to step into a higher level of living, loving, and serving. Remember, transformation isn't a destination, it's a daily choice. Choose to remember who you truly are. Choose to operate from divine consciousness. Choose to create relationships that honor the sacred in yourself and others. Choose to pursue your purpose with passion and persistence. Choose to leave this world better than you found it. The divine within me honors and recognizes the divine within you. Go forth and shine your light brightly. The world is waiting for what you came here to give.